Okay, so we all want that feeling of security when it comes to planning for retirement, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But like without having to wade through tons of confusing jargon, you know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're going to be looking closely at the Ibexis FIA Plus fixed indexed annuity.
Right.
And we're pulling all this information from Diversified Insurance Brokers.
Okay.
The idea is to really break down exactly how this annuity tries to protect your money while also giving it a chance to grow, for the future.
Yeah, so essentially trying to get the best of both worlds, I guess.
Exactly.
A fixed index annuity, if you want to boil it down, is an agreement with an insurance company.
Right.
They basically say, all right, we'll link your potential returns to how well a specific market index performs.
Okay.
But here's the key. They also build in a safety net to protect your principal.
Gotcha.
So that original investment you put in.
Yeah, so you're not just totally out of luck if the market tanks.
Exactly. And the Ibexis FIA Plus really focuses on building that nest egg over time.
Okay, so it's accumulation focused, they say.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work in practice? How do you protect your initial investment and still give it a chance to grow?
Well, a big part of that is something called the annual lock.
Okay.
Imagine it like a ratchet that only moves in one direction upwards.
All right, I like that visual.
So each year, if the index it's linked to is doing well,
Yeah,
those gains get locked in.
they can't disappear.
Right, as protected strategy value.
So even if the market takes a dip later, those gains are safe.
Exactly. It's about making sure your progress sticks.
Gotcha. So you're kind of capturing the upside and then solidifying it.
Yeah, you got it.
Now, of course, not everyone has the same risk tolerance.
Right.
Some people are more comfortable with risk than others.
Absolutely.
So how does this annuity account for that?
This is where the different floor options come in.
Okay.
The most conservative approach would be to go with a 0% floor.
So no matter what happens, your principal is safe.
Totally protected no matter how the market does. But the trade-off there is that you might limit your potential gains.
Sure. Makes sense.
You can also choose lower floors, even down to, it to 15%.
So you're accepting a bit more potential downside.
Yeah, but in exchange, you might get access to better participation rates.
Okay.
Or cap rates, which could really boost your growth if the market's doing well.
So it's a classic risk-reward scenario.
Exactly. You got to weigh your options.
Now, these potential gains are tied to what they call index strategies.
Right.
So what are our options there?
Now, there's the classic S&P 500 that everyone knows, but they also offer some more specialized indexes.
Like what?
Well, there's the HSBC AI Global Tactical Index.
What's that all about?
It uses artificial intelligence to manage its holdings.
Wow, so like a computer picking stocks?
Sort of. It's trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Interesting.
And then there's the BofA U.S. Strength Fast Convergence Index.
Okay.
These different indexes let you tap into different parts of the market.
So it's like having a menu of market options.
Yeah.
Now, they also mention a premium bonus rider,
Right.
which sounds like you get a little extra something something.
Yeah, this rider can be pretty appealing.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, it essentially gives your initial investment an immediate boost.
Right off the bat.
Exactly. You start with a higher account value right away.
That's pretty cool.
And sometimes it can even give you access to those more aggressive floor options with a lower percentages.
Oh, so a double benefit.
Potentially, yeah.
But there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, it's important to understand the recapture schedule.
What's that?
So if you withdraw funds too early, a portion of that bonus might be deducted.
So it's a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, you got to think long term.
Now, what if you need to access your money for an emergency or something?
Well, they built in some flexibility for that.
Okay, good. Because life happens.
Exactly. Starting in the second year, you can usually withdraw up to 10% of your account value each year.
Without any penalties.
Right, penalty-free withdrawals.
That's good to know.
Definitely provide some peace of mind.
Are there any other features we should know about?
Yeah, there are a few more things that add to the overall security of this annuity.
Like what?
Well, sometimes they include waivers for things like terminal illness or if you need to move into a nursing home.
Oh, wow. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's about having options in those situations.
And what about required minimum distributions or RMDs from retirement accounts?
They've got that covered too.
Yeah.
It works seamlessly with RMDs.
Good to know. And what about when it's time to actually start taking income in retirement?
You've got choices there too. They offer multiple income settlement options.
Okay, so lots of flexibility.
Yeah, they try to make it adaptable to your needs.
So we've talked about all these benefits for you while you're alive, but what happens to the annuity when you pass away?
Well, the death benefit ensures that your beneficiaries will get the money.
Okay.
They receive either the tracking value or the fixed interest strategy value, whichever is higher at that time.
So they're guaranteed to get something.
Exactly. And usually there's also an option for a surviving spouse to continue the annuity.
So it takes care of both you and your family.
Yeah, it tries to look at the whole picture.
Now, who exactly is the company behind this annuity?
That would be the Ibexis Life and Annuity Insurance Company.
Okay. And are they a reputable company?
Well, they have an excellent rating from AM Best, which is a pretty big deal.
So that indicates financial stability?
Yes, they're considered to be very reliable.
And do they have a long track record?
They do, actually. They were originally founded as Sunset Life all the way back in 1937.
Wow, so they've been around for a while.
They have. And currently, they're backed by InvestCorp, which is a global investment firm.
Okay, so solid backing.
Yeah, you could definitely say that.
And now, Diversified Insurance Brokers who provided this information, where do they stand on all this?
Well, they see the Ibexis FIA Plus as a valuable tool for their clients.
Okay.
They believe it can help people find that balance between protecting their assets and pursuing growth.
Especially as part of a personalized retirement strategy.
Right. It's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
So to recap, it sounds like the Ibexis FIA plus fixed indexed annuity is all about trying to find that sweet spot, offering protection for your principal, but also potential for growth linked to these different market indexes.
Exactly. And it gives you some control over how much risk you're comfortable with.
So it's about safety, growth, and customization.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
So for all of you listening out there, think about your own retirement plans. Does that annual lock feature that we talked about, where your gains get locked in each year, does that appeal to you?
It's a nice feature for sure.
And how do you feel about choosing between different floor levels with that trade-off between risk and potential reward?
It's all about finding the right balance for you.
Exactly. These are important questions to consider as you plan for your future.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next